Hello everybody. I'm going to do an ATC today with rice paper. A couple of you have requested this video and I'm perfectly happy to do it. What rice paper is really cool because it's transparent. It's got its own texture into it because it's got all these fibers. And you can get them in all different colors and in all different weights as well too. I'll show you what I mean about this. This is an ivory piece that I buy. It's a big page, a big sheet, and it's a bit more expensive, this one, because it is a bit more thicker. And then and this is where I would usually buy it here in town. Then I found another store that had, now this is not a good example because I did experiment with this piece and I put glue on top of it, but it would be soft like this. So you can get it in different weights. Like I have some here that I bought together with a whole bunch of paper, which is very thin, but it's like the same thing. It's all, you know, with the fibers on the inside, and when you put it down, it goes transparent. And like I said, you can get it in all different colors. And you can even get it in other kind of textures too. I've seen rice paper that's had much more texture, much more fibers than this. And you can already tell the difference between this one here and this ivory one that I showed you at the beginning. I'll try to put my hand underneath. Who knows, you can see the texture of the fibers. There's much more fibers in this one than there is in this one. So it varies, you know, when you buy it. The nice thing about this is that what I'm going to be doing is a little ATC. If it was a bigger page, like a journal page, it would be beautiful as well too, because I could really show you the effect of rice paper can look like watercolor. You know, I'm going to be doing a background, and it kind of gives you that kind of tint of, you know, like a watercolor background, which is very pretty. These are some of them that I had done with rice paper in the meantime. But like I said, I'm going to show you one from the beginning. So this one was a texture thing. I showed this one before. It was just texture. And I added the rice paper here on top, some purple and some green rice paper. I put this love purple on it. A lot of people love purple. I'm not crazy about purple, you guys. I love all colors, but I notice lots of people just adore purple, so I thought this is in honor of who loves purple. The little chain looks like a necklace. And then this one here, it was also a texture one, and I added rice paper on top of that. And this was a chipboard piece that I put those little tiny pearls on, glued them on, and then this was an image that I found that I thought would look good in here. I have a hard time finding small little images like that. Not these ones, not that one, this one here. Now this, the background was totally done with rice paper, and look at the effect it has. It has the effect of, you know, kind of like a watercolor background. These were just chipboard flowers that I put the beads on, and then I designed this with glue and put the beads on those, the little micro beads, and some little texture paste underneath, over top the rice paper. But you see, I mixed here. There's actually four colors of rice paper in this little ATC to make the background. And then these are just other ones that I finished off. Nothing to do with rice paper. Just up till the other day that when I did them, I finished off these ones as well too, which are really pretty. These ones were napkins, and then I went over them with some shimmer paints that I have. And I found that they're really good. Like, they're kids' shimmer paints, but they have a lot of pigment in them. I'm really happy with these. Like I said, I don't know better because I'm not an expert on these things. But, yeah, I really like them. They went on really nice. So with this ATC, we're going to be using blue, well, the yellow, some green, and some pink, which I would call this like a rusty, not a rusty rose, an antique rose, a chiffon rose, something like that. And I'm going to, what I have here is just little pieces that I cut off of the other ATC, and I'm going to use them in this ATC. I thought I had more, but that's okay. That's not a problem. So I start off by just tearing, and this is another very nice factor of rice paper too. It tears so nicely that when you put it down, it looks so natural, the way it all blends in together. Take some yellow. It's a really crappy day today. Rainy, windy, not that cold. It's been colder in these last few days, but I'm not going to need all of this, so I better start just cutting off some small ones. Now you can keep on overlapping and overlapping and overlapping, and it makes a really nice texture. Get this thing here out of the way. There we go. What glue I would use here is, because it's such a thin paper, I think napkin glue is the best thing to use. Because, like I said, it's a very fine paper. It's not going to rip, that's for sure. It does not rip, but it doesn't need, so I'm using this Deco Art glue here. I have it in a squirt bottle. This is one of my old ones, and I'm putting the new one. I actually am going to put in that because I find it better to use. Get some glue here, and I'm going to be showing you now how this will look. There. So I'll start with the top first and just grabbing. I use this glue as well too, because the glue I use is an Italian brand. Doesn't dry so fast. It's yeah. So I'm going to be mixing the sky, because here I'm doing a kind of like another scenery sky, and the grass. And so in the sky I'm going to be mixing the blue and the pink, and you'll just see here how these colors just mix beautifully together. It's kind of sticking to me all over the place. That's okay. And then go over it again with another piece of pink, and then, like, you just keep on going on and on until you're satisfied. I'm going to use this piece here, that just not to waste it. I don't want to throw it out. And like I said, these don't really have lots of fibers in them. So I think I'm happier with the stuff that I would buy here in town, and not these new colors that I have that I bought recently in another store. I prefer that the paper is thicker. It gives it much more texture. I'm going to take another little piece of blue. And I just go on and on like this until I'm satisfied with what I see. But yeah, it gives it that really pretty, I see it as like a really pretty watercolory effect. You can imagine these in journal pages. Show that to you up front like that for now. And I'll start with the bottom now. So I'm going to eliminate that pink and start with some yellow and then some green. It's just it's plain and simple collage. That's all it is. That's all it is. And just doing it until you come up with what you like. So you think the green is too heavy on it? Go ahead and cover it with yellow, which I'm going to do now. Making sure you guys are seeing this. Yeah. just another little piece of yellow here. Turn it this way. See the ripped edges, the way they just blend right in instead of a straight edge. It's always, you know, I always do, I'm sorry, rip the paper and not cut it. Okay, I think, with a little yellow piece. Well, no, I would like a little piece of green piece right here on the outer edge, right there. Oh. And then I'm going to cover it up with some yellow. And it just gives it that beautiful effect. Okay, and see, if you guys are noticing this, that it's not ripping like this. It's such a durable paper. I love working with it. Put that aside and just give it a dry here. And you know, you can, if you want to, go over it with other colors, you know, whatever you like working with, gelatos, you know, right now I'm doing a scenery, a landscape, so naturally, I'm going to leave it at this. But if you want to, you can perfectly go over it with colors. Continue working over it. Modeling paste, watercolors, gelatos, whatever you want to use, you can use on top of this. And I really like putting some print underneath. The one that I showed you with the flowers here, you can hardly notice it anymore, but yeah, you can hardly. This underneath was music paper, so like I said, you can hardly notice it anymore. You can stamp on top of it. Try not to touch it while it's wet because it'll pull. I have to get a longer cord here. I'm having problems with, they don't reach. Yeah, I need another extension cord here. Okay, let's see how this is. I'm just going to cut around. And this is how I had, you know, those extra pieces to put on the card, just not to waste them. And they look pretty. These will dry really, really cool. And it's a mixture of colors already. I know I'm terrible. Can't throw anything away. But if, you know, if I have them laying around and I'm just, you know, have a journal open, I'll just stick them in a page. And that's it. Add some texture to you know, a page, and you're not wasting. These are kind of small, but you know, like I said, if I have a journal page laying around and these ones here, I'll just stick them in there. Even these little pieces that I ripped off and I'm not using at the moment because they'll probably get lost now. So there, that's the ATC, and look at what beautiful effect it gives. Like, it gives it that watercoloring. Like I said, you can continue on to this. I think I'm going to stamp something. I'm not sure. Even maybe, well, there's already writing underneath, so it's not going to be a scripture. What could I stamp on this? What if I just go over it with some punchinella and some white paint? That would be perfect. A little bit there. Nice sponge. And it's supposed to be raining all day. Here it's morning right now. Well, yeah, morning, mid-morning. Okay. And then what I had ready for this was this little bird cage. With this in it, a little chain, just a very simple little card. It was more or less just to talk about the rice paper and show you how I use it and how it could be used. And you guys, there's probably all different types of ways you can use rice paper as well. I'm going to look for something that says, do I have my little things here? Yeah, I do. Maybe freedom. Yeah, I love birdies, I do, but I kind of feel sorry for them when they're closed up in a cage. And I have had birds, huh? My kids have had birds. We had one for a long time, just a little, my dad brought it. Once upon a time, an ex-brother-in-law of mine, you know, loved birds, and he had tons and tons, hundreds of birds. And when he left a few birds to my dad that didn't get rid of. Well, my dad noticed that the snakes were getting into the cage because he had them down in the where he had the garden, and they were eating them. So he brought me this last bird that had survived, and we had it for years. Okay, so I found friends, friendship, family. I hate looking through this because I have to really concentrate on finding the words that I need. Oh, I can always put it in after, you guys. That's not a problem. I don't want you guys to waste your time here looking at me. Yeah. Okay, well, you know what I'll do for now is paste this down. And I'm going to use a leaves. I can go over the cage because I'm really not convinced about the cage being this color, but I can go over it if I wanted to after. I kind of painted it gold right now. I don't know, it's maybe because it's Christmas and thinking, you know, all these glittery colors, but it's not bad because there are gold cages anyways. It doesn't have to be Christmas to be a gold cage, right? And I got this little piece of chipboard chain here. That in there. Is it crooked? I've got to move it just a touch. And cut this piece off. And straighten it out. Sorry you guys, I went off camera here a second. I'm just cutting the piece of chain off the top here. And then I would go around with it something like this here. So this is just some chalkboard ink pad. Pretty good ink. I've had it for a while and it hasn't dried out. This is chestnut brown, chestnut roan. And then I have a black one as well too. So yeah, here I would probably put something, I have the big ones too. Let's see if I can find the word in the big ones. Sky, smile, faith, feel, friend, forever, friendship, girl, grateful, grow, happiness, happy, heals. Oh my goodness. I can never decide. I have problems deciding on what I would like to write on my whatchamacallits. But I am just going to do this and get it over with. Because then at the end, any type of little writing on top of it looks really cute. And I am putting some ink, and I wrote Charming. And I'm just going to put it down like that. There we go. So there you go, you guys. Little cute ATC. I'm sorry if I was off camera for a second there. And it's just to show you with the rice paper what you can do with it. And if I do a journal in the future, I'll probably tape, you know, a journal page where you can see more of the rice paper and everything. So I hope you liked it, you guys. And everybody have a great day. And if I don't do a video before, have a very Merry Christmas, everyone, and a really great happy year. And I hope everybody fulfills their desires and, you know, live in peace, harmony, and good health. Goodbye.